Y'all, it's time for the Barkley Marathons.
It is or it was?
Yes. And
Both
also
these things.
already?
Usually held March to April. Our old friend Laz Lake decided, nope, Valentine's Day weekend. That's when we're having the Barkley Marathons. Listeners, if you don't remember what the Barkley Marathons are, it is an ultra marathon in Frozen Head State Park run by a guy named Laz Lake. I think Gary Cantrell's his actual name. There are 40 runners.
Hey,
You have to run. Go ahead.
I just don't break kayfabe like that. That's not nice. He's Laz Lake.
You have to run 5 loops of, in the biggest air quotes possible, a 20-mile track in 60 hours.
Yeah. Wikipedia describes the course as, quote, off trail. So this is very much not a track. This is you gallivanting through the woods in February.
In the rain as well, from what I understand.
Yes, the weather on the East Coast has been absolutely miserable this weekend.
If you complete 3 loops in 40 hours, you get credit for the fun run. This is the one where the 1 hour countdown to the race is signaled by blowing a conch. And then the race officially begins when Laz lights the cigarette. There are no maps. There's only one main map. Everyone else has to copy.
What's the deal with the bugler? Do they like play taps when somebody taps out?
Yes.
Okay. So the bugler was busy this weekend.
The bugler, apparently 8 people came in off lap 1 and all quit at the same time.
I think I saw Keith said that there was 2 different buglers, so they
Yeah. Laz brought in a second bugler because he had a feeling that his creation was gonna come in.
Sir, there's a second
strong.
bugler.
A second bugler has hit the Barkley Marathon.
This is also the race, listeners, where on the course you have to find 9 to 15 books along the way and rip out the page with your bib number on it to prove that you went through the right trail.
This is what Slender Man is based off of.
In 2024, do you remember how much we celebrated when 5 people finished, when the first woman finished? We celebrated on this podcast. It was great.
Yep. And then Laz was like, that's too many people.
Never again.
This year, only 1 person got to the fun run. In fact, some people showed up off the first lap in the wrong direction. They were so turned around.
Oh, no.
Because you have to go counterclockwise to start with this year, and then clockwise. And they came back in the wrong direction, which means they got completely turned around. From Keith Dunn, who is always our news reporter on the ground at Frozen Head, a great quote. Laz, how's this going, Damien? Damien Hall. Probably exactly how you want it to be going.
I did see Keith also say that one of the lap 1 runners was still on lap 1 27 hours in because they got so lost.
It got finished in 32 hours. Finished 1 lap in 32 hours.
Oh, boy.
Just an absolute hellish thing. Because not only was it cold, listeners, but it was rainy, and then the fog came in. You had people wrapping their feet up in bags to keep it from getting trench foot.
And like, I think at least one guy was like, you know what? I'm just going to not wear shoes.
This race is fucking insane. And usually in this podcast, we do a little preview when it's going to happen. And then we, go afterwards and talk about the finish. Nah, man, we're doing it all at once.
Yeah. Barkley Marathon just dropped out of the middle of nowhere this year.
Yeah, it's a none shall know the hour race. I remember there was last year, some people were able to figure out when it was supposed to be because a bunch of ultramarathon runners suddenly cleared up their calendar around a specific date. I think that's why Laz went, all right, February. No one else is running in February.
For good reason. This is an insane race that I love to follow. It's great because the only news you get is from one guy's Twitter account. It is one of the most niche things we cover. And it feels like the perfect Olympic interlude. Like in the middle of the fucking Winter Olympics, we have this wild ass race.
But enough about the Daytona 500.
Hey!
There are some pictures in the show notes of how foggy it got. And I don't know how you could find any books out there.
This looks like a horror movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know I made the Slender Man joke a second ago, but this straight up looks like from Slender Man.
Like something is going to jump out of this fog and eat you.
Silent Hill, the Barkley Marathons.
That is Slender Man.
Sebastian Raimund finished Loop 3 in 38:05:46 and is credited with the fun run. Damien Hill.
I gotta say that differently.
Go.
Sorry. Sebastian Raimund. There we go.
And then
it's
Damien
Mardi Gras.
Hill came off Loop 3 without collecting all the pages, so no credit was given.
Oh my God.
Can you just imagine that feeling?
When do you think the next year is that Laz is going to have somebody finish this? Because 5 finished in 2024. Last year, none. This year, none. I mean, are we seeing like, I'm almost predicting like 2030 until somebody else finishes. Wasn't there like a gap?
And
Wasn't there
next
a
year,
gap from like,
it's going to be in like July.
it's like, wasn't there a gap between like 86 and 95? Nobody finished.
Something like that.
So for the longest time, no one finished at all because this race is just insane. And then ultramarathoners got too good. It's like our friend Roger Sherman said, the gentrification of the sport. People got too good at training for ultramarathons and could like finally finish it. And so Laz was just like, fuck no, we're not doing that anymore.
We have innovated too ambitiously in the world of ultramarathoning.
I think the football equivalent is if all the talk about kickers getting too good, they were like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Kickers, they got to wear cement cleats now.
This reminds me of the old original Japanese American Ninja Warrior. Not American Ninja Warrior. God. Ninja Warrior. Not the American one. The Japanese one.
Perhaps Japanese Ninja Warrior. Though
Doesn't
I
need the
repeat
Japanese.
myself. Yeah.
American Ninja Warrior.
Iron
And
Chef.
they were just regular dudes. And then most of the time, no one won. They would have this whole special. They'd have all the athletes out there, and then just no one would win. Sometimes no one would make it to the third stage. And it was just fine. And I feel like this race is the same way. It's okay to have a race that has no finishers. I feel like Americans get really weird about this.
I mean,
But it's
yes.
fine.
Yeah, sure. Americans will get weird about that, but they don't get weird about how many seasons of Deadliest Catch you have to watch before someone actually dies.
How many
Not
was
many, as I
that?
recall.
It was in the name. I was promised death.
I think Ice Road Truckers also had a couple early season deaths.
But was not called Deadliest Ice Road Truckers. Probably should
Fair
have been.
point. Fair point.
Anyways, Barkley Marathons have come and gone. God bless Laz Lake and those fucking psychopaths out there, all 40 of them that did this. I can't imagine.
Have you considered literally any other hobby?
Spending time with your kids, your spouse, your friends.
What? This is guys being dudes. First of all, what's better than just a couple of guys hanging out in the forest, running in the muck?
A bunch of French guys all hanging out in Tennessee somewhere. This is probably the most. I was gonna say, this is the most cultural thing that happens in Tennessee. The
Wasn't
most
there,
European thing.
wasn't there a book about that?
What?
Barkley Marathons?
Oh no, like just guys hanging out in the woods in Tennessee.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sickotine podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of February 15th, 2026. As always, I am Jordan, and tonight, because my computer keeps crashing, I have various sensors and things like that up, and I'm staring at my CPU temp, and it's getting a little spicy right now.
How
That
many
might be
tabs
the
do you have
issue.
open?
Yeah, anyway, have you
Several.
considered closing your tabs, Jordan?
Those are my emotional support tabs. If I close them, I disappear as well.
That's what's keeping the house warm.
I mean, when it gets cold, like everything is energy efficient because if it's not energy efficient, it's a space heater.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them in, and by them, I mean the tabs.
Some of my PCU cores are getting up to 100 degrees Celsius. That's hot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's getting close to nuclear power.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good little computer. Nice little computer. Anyways, I am Jordan, and with me tonight, we have a cavalcade of people, including Beth, Pitt Girl, Commish, special guest Canadian Joey, and producer Arthur on the Switch. Joey, how are you?
How many times do I have to be on before I get downgraded from special guest to just guest?
He's our
Happy
Canadian
family.
correspondent. We called him in.
Returning champion.
Returning Canadian correspondent.
Happy Family Day, everyone. Totally not invented holiday that traces its lineage all the way back in deep Canadian history. I think the first one was in 2009.
I think we talked about this on the show before, and every time I'm confused.
We were one short of holidays that you Americans have. We didn't have whatever the holiday tomorrow is.
It's President's Day.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
have
you don't have those.
So we invented Family Day. So tomorrow
You
is
don't
Family.
you don't have Governor General Day?
No, fuck the Governor General. That's basically the Queen or the King now.
Do you have a holiday to offset Sweetest Day?
What is that?
That is Ohio Valentine's Day.
Ohio has their own Valentine's Day?
Yes. Yeah, it's in October. It's called Sweetest Day. The first time I found out about it was when I was dating someone from Ohio, and I didn't get him a present for this day, and he was extremely upset, and then I wasn't dating someone from Ohio anymore.
Sweetest Day, per Wikipedia, is a holiday that is celebrated in the Midwestern United States, in parts of the Northeastern United States, in Arizona, and in Florida on the third Saturday in October.
That's Ohio as fuck.
Yeah, the fact that it has migrated only to Arizona and Florida tells you everything you need to know about where Ohioans
The holiday's
go to
going
die.
for spring training?
Yes.
The third Saturday in October. Which
Yeah.
game is that?
That is Tennessee, Alabama.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay. So Sweetest Day is also third Saturday in October.
Yeah,
Okay.
traditionally
Yes.
marked with the exchanging of not technically Valentine's Day cards. Yes. Also, this is allegedly celebrated in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, but no. I think I heard about it for the very first time when I was at Pitt.
I mean, I was at Teal at the time, and Teal is like 2 miles from Ohio.
It's basically Ohio.
It's
yeah.
basically
that-
Ohio.
This sounds like West Virginia and Pennsylvania are suffering radioactive Ohio poisoning.
Yes. Yes, we are all at risk from Ohio.
Joey, I just asked you, Joey. You're fine. Beth, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you.
I've come unstuck in time, apparently.
It happens.
I
The best
thought it
of
was
us.
6 o'clock, and in fact, it was time for me to do the podcast.
Oh no.
Reader, we do the
Oh,
podcast at 10 Eastern.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
It's Sunday. Happy Sunday. I too was probably at risk of becoming unstuck in time, but I have managed not to do that. Grad school. Grad school's great. Grad school's fun. Definitely
Yeah,
do
grad
it.
school's great. Definitely do grad
Beth,
school.
Beth and I are having an amazing time.
Listen, time is super messed up right now. Like my entire life, as long as I can remember, the NBA had their all-star stuff at night. Like it was always Saturday night was the dunk contest, the 3-point that stuff. Sunday night is the all-star game. This weekend, I'm going about my business. I'm having my day. It's like, wait, it's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was happening at like 5 o'clock. And it was on my TV guide as like NBA Saturday night or NBA All-Star
weird.
Saturday night. It was at 5 o'clock. But wait, it's in California. Like it was at the Clippers arena. And I'm
So it's like 2. Ugh.
racking my brain trying to figure out like, man, what do they have going on the West Coast where 2 o'clock is night? Like they must be up to some crazy stuff out there.
Arthur, did I just hear you say it was on your TV guide?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got cable. Well, that's how
The
we.
TV Guide channel.
Can you?
I remember the magazine.
I was going to
Do they
say,
still
do
sell
you
it?
remember the magazine?
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember
so.
when the magazine was small.
Yeah.
And then they made it bigger.
They what?
It used to be they made
Yeah,
it bigger.
no, I
Full
only
size.
remember the small form. I do
Yeah.
not remember big TV Guide.
Yeah, I swear to God, TV Guide magazine got turned into bigger.
Yeah,
It actually still exists.
kids, once a long time ago, we used to buy an Excel spreadsheet at the grocery store.
Mhm.
TNA Wrestling used to be on the TV Guide channel. That's the only reason I know that of that brand.
I am primarily, I'm not familiar with TV Guide itself as a magazine. I am familiar as a child looking in the local newspaper for the TV Guide that was printed in the local newspaper every day. That's where I got my TV guides from
Okay.
when I was a child.
I'm looking at what has been on the cover of TV Guide the last like 5 years.
Do you think we could
It's
get on
just
there?
some- it-
We need a TV first.
Honestly, yeah.
Podcast Guide magazine.
Well,
Yeah, this
Netflix
is
is
just-
putting podcasts on it, so anything could happen, I guess.
Ooh. We got, so Netflix is a bit above our pay grade, but we could probably get on Roku.
Tubi.
Tubi, yeah.
Yeah,
What's the one that's going to carry the Mountain West network?
that's what I was about to ask.
Humvee, Kissweek.
Kissweek, yes.
TV Guide got bigger in 2005.
Sickos
Okay.
Committee podcast on Victory Plus.
Commish, how are you?
It's been an eventful weekend.
Oh my God.
Mhm. Let's see if this works with the headphones.
No,
I gotta
it
get
turned you into an elf.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's so good. So what did the SRS distributors Las Vegas Bowl send you?
Thank you very much. Commish here. I have to thank the SRS distribution Las Vegas Bowl for sending me a deck of cards, 5 Elvis glasses with sideburns.
So many.
Elvis, that's a lot. Some people are getting some of these. I got a hoodie. I got a shirt. I got a hat. I got a bathrobe.
You got a robe.
I got a robe.
Between the robe and the shades with the sideburns,
Right.
you look like Elvis is about to die.
That's right. I ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Hey, this is Commish Halloween costume for you already set.
It's all right.
What, dying Elvis?
Dying Elvis. Yep.
Didn't he like die on the toilet or something? Or was that just
this-
in the movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland? Which
I'm-
is the only source I have for Elvis knowledge.
I believe that's Apocrypha.
Yeah, did
Lord
Elvis
Almighty, I
actually
feel my
die on the
temperature
toilet?
rising.
He was. Wait, hang on. He was found dead in the bathroom.
He was.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe not.
That's close enough. That's
Would
close
you-
Yeah,
enough.
he was found
Toilet
on the
adjacent.
floor.
I can
yeah,
provide
toilet adjacent.
some Gen Z news for you guys. There is an Elvis meme going around right now
Mm.
where you
Okay,
pretend a bunch of popular songs were originally done by Elvis, like,
Mm.
but it's gone to the point, you know how memes get abstracted, where it's someone doing an impression of Elvis doing the Rick and Morty theme song and saying like, "Did you know the Rick and Morty theme was originally done by Elvis?"
That's interesting because I feel like I'm too young. Like, obviously, I'm too young for like Elvis when he was actually alive making music. But then I feel like I'm also too young for like the echo as people who were alive when he was making music then made their own stuff about Elvis. Right? Like, I feel like in the 90s, like Elvis was dead, but people were still making Elvis stuff.
Yeah, we had that Falcons coach. We had "Are You Jimmy Ray" as well.
Yeah. And nowadays, people are not making Elvis stuff anymore. So I feel
I
like
gotta-
I'm too young for the Elvis echo.
I got to be honest with you. This conversation about age has got me all shook up.
Oh.
Hey, hey. I'm all shook up. No,
Is that
this
Elvis
weekend
song?
was
I think
this
so.
this weekend was wild. So we did the Sickotines giveaway for the Idaho basketball. So we selected the winner on the previous podcast. And so I'm trying to get it worked out with Idaho to get the tickets squared away, to get the delivery for the chocolates, the roses, the sparkling wine and the pizza and everything like that. So Friday the 13th comes around. I set up the Walmart delivery.
It was a
I
cursed
don't-
day. We should have known
It
it.
was-
We
it was
should
a cursed
have
day.
known it
I
'cause
should've-
it was a cursed fucking
so-
day.
So I set up the delivery with the roses. I put like substitutions for anything, like if whatever type of roses you can get. I don't care what size it is. Sub it with whatever you need. I got like a 40-piece like Russell Stover thing, whatever, and then like the sparkling grape juice, which was no big deal getting that. And then they told me to order from some place called Pizza Perfection, which if you ever go to this website, it looks like the oldest website I've ever seen in my life. It looks like it's done on like GeoCities. Like if you go to Pizza Perfection Moscow, like you can check it out and throw it in the chat right now.
How much of the screen is dancing hamsters?
Not much. It's dancing pizzas.
Okay.
But no, there's none of those. So I order all this stuff and I get it lined up, and then I have my kid has a birthday party to go to on Valentine's Day from 11 to 1, and I go to the place. It's like Peter Piper Pizza. All of a sudden, I start getting text alerts on my phone from the debit card. The debit card's going. It's like, hey, it's like, did you make this $2 charge? Did you make this $2.35 charge? Did you make this $2.26 charge? And I'm like, no. And then I have to go in the chat, and I was like, Jordan, anybody making purchases like with the card or anything on like Facebook or something like that? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, oh my God. And then we see like 12 or 13 charges show up. So the debit card's been hacked essentially. I'm like, okay. Great. Now I lock the card. Jordan like disputes all the transactions. I'm at the still at the place, and I check the email just to make sure there's no other like funny buzzes. I'm like on my phone at this kid's birthday party, like oh my God, the business debit card has been hacked.
Sickos
So,
maybe get their identity stolen.
Yeah, sicko's identity theft. So I get that squared away, and then I get a message from Walmart. They said like, hey, we didn't have the flowers, so like you're not gonna get flowers. So I'm like, okay, I've locked the debit card. I can't really make another order now for the business to this location. So I reach out to Jarek, who's at Idaho, and he was like, okay, fine, I'll get the flowers, I'll do all that stuff, whatever. But I'm like, okay, like, so I called Walmart and I was like, hey, why didn't y'all sub this with anything? And I was going to tell Jarek, I was like, hey, I don't know if, let me see what the issue is with Walmart. Walmart's like, all of our flowers died.
Oh,
Walmart's like, all of our flowers have died. We're not selling any flowers. Everything went bad overnight. And I'm like, I don't know what happened.
on February 13th, that's the worst day of that retail manager's life.
No, because we were picking the flowers up on the 14th.
Oh my God.
So on Valentine's Day, the Moscow Supercenter, Walmart, all the flowers done, dead. I couldn't get any of them. So I was like, Jarek, they're out of flowers at Walmart. They're all dead. They threw them all away. They canceled all the flowers, the orders for delivery, everything. He's like, fine. Like, what do you want? I was like, just get some sort of flowers. I mean, I had
Get some
like
dandelions out of the ground.
whatever you could do. Maybe there's like a Kibbe garden behind the Kibbe Dome or something. So Jarek was able to do that, get that squared away. The pizza gets squared away. Everything's done. And I was like, I canceled the card. I got a new car. Last night, they tried to run it a couple of more times too. It was like, these were declined. It was like $8.35. Like, I was just like,
Sickos Committee foils identity theft.
this is the first time we've ever tried to do like an in-stadium promotion besides like the Mayo Bowl, but with like delivery, like timing, actual,
with the logistics aspect.
of it.
The Ypsilanti thing was cool, but it didn't involve you ordering stuff from a Walmart.
No, it didn't do that. So it went through. She got everything. Shout out to Caitlin, and had a great time. They got the pizza. They took some pictures. We posted it in the chat. It worked out in like the most hilarious sickos manner.
Next time what we do is we hire an undergrad to do this for us.
Yep. This is, if you, gentle listener, are anyone that has showed up in our email asking to be our intern, which has happened. Boy, do we have a job for you.
Way more than you would think.
I think I have estimated, I'm going to say, probably on the low end, it's been like 20 people have emailed us for a job.
They're all trying to steal my job as Sickos Committee intern.
Gentle listener, we're all interns. We're all our own intern. None of us are like...
It's
This
interns
is not
all the
even-
way down.
This is not even factoring how many DMs we got asking us to work.
We're not getting paid. I got to steal Commish's credit card just to get these Temu pens.
It was you, Joe. It's such a mess, man. But yeah, that's what happened. That was my weekend.
Hell yeah.
We're so good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fucking great.
It was great. I had on the Bucky's Valentine's shirt and I was sweating. I felt like a hunka burning love.
It
Listeners,
doesn't beat
that's
the.
also an Elvis song.
It doesn't beat when Super Mega got their identity stolen, their company card stolen, and the guy who stole it used the money to buy Steely Dan sweatpants.
Better. Y'all, it's Olympics time. We brought Joey on because there is curling beef.
Of the Canadian variety.
The
So
controversy.
it's Canadian, curling ham.
I heard a Canadian drop an F-bomb.
I mean,
He's
Mark,
a no-no.
I
Mark
wish
Kennedy.
we could play the clip without getting murdered by the IOC.
I can do it for you. Fuck off, Oscar. That's Alberta.
That's why we got him on the show. That's it.
Oh, it was so good. Okay, let's rewind all of this. This is Canada versus Sweden.
Mhm.
And all I saw was this big eruption between the Canadian guy and the Swedish guy, and the Swedish guy being like, I'll show you the video afterwards. I got video right here. And it was apparently about touching a rock. Joey, explain this.
Okay, so when you are throwing the rock, I need to preface this real quick because I've gotten in trouble on this podcast before by claiming to be an expert. I just watch curling in non-Olympic years. I am not a curling expert. But when you are delivering the rock, there's the hog line, which is the green line in the ice. It serves two purposes, basically the offside line on both sides. You can't be touching the rock when the rock is touching that line or beyond it.
Mhm.
The second thing is, even if that, you cannot touch the granite on the rock. You can touch the handle, you can touch the plastic on top. It's not plastic, but I can't think of the colored part on top.
The part
Yeah.
that attaches the handle to the rest of the
Yeah.
rock. Yes.
Yeah.
But you can't touch the granite itself. Now here's the thing about that. I'm always going to root for Team Canada no matter what.
Of course.
And the team that went this year, I was a bit surprised, but they're a very good team, and they seem like very nice guys off the ice. If you asked me to pick one team on the World Curling Tour that was going to get in trouble for getting all red-assed about getting called out for cheating, I would choose Team Brad Jacobs. And if you asked me which player on Team Brad Jacobs, I would have chose Mark Kennedy. So
okay, fair.
basically what
So they
he
have a
was
strong
doing.
brand.
Okay.
For curling, yes. I gotta say, this is very rare
Yeah,
to see
no.
anything like this.
Listener, I need you to understand that, so if you go online and you watch the clip, which somehow has not been taken down yet on Blue Sky, I guess because the IOC doesn't know Blue Sky exists. Good, cool.
Shh, quiet.
And it is like Canadian guy cursing aggressively, Swedish guy very mad. Nothing physical happens. There's some pointing. That's it. This is the curling equivalent of a bench clearing brawl.
More or less.
Mhm.
This
So-
is Bobby Knight throwing a chair.
I haven't fully explained what actually happened. I will say.
Continue. Sorry.
So
I
basic-
got lost at I got lost at hog line.
yes,
I
that
was
is the thing people get stuck on when I talk.
Is it the
about
Arkansas Missouri border? I mean, the hog line.
Do you know what they call the little technology thing that determines hog line violations? It's called Eye on the Hog.
Da, da, da,
So-
da, 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 da. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Basically, what Kennedy was doing is, as he let go of the rock, when you curl, podcasting is a visual medium, you do kind of, and this is what you're taught when you're growing up learning, is you deliver it in like a handshake sort of thing, where you, as you let go, you open your hand.
Okay.
I'm coming through the screen at you, doing some 4D technology here.
Yeah.
When you're at a big enough level, you kind of stop doing the full hand thing. You can get away with just doing like a finger, basically.
Okay.
And as he's doing that, he's also kind of pushing the rock on the granite very subtly. which is illegal. But you will never see that called, and you will also never, like, it basically is 0.1% advantage. It's not, you don't gain that much from doing it.
I was trying to figure out, like, how, like, what could this even affect?
Nothing, right?
It gives you a little bit more power, like infinitesimal, but it is the Olympics, so I guess if you're going to break that out at any point, it'd be then. All hell has kind of broken loose from this in both the men's and the curling because of this little brouhaha. Is the as Pitt Girl implied, this is the most controversial thing in curling since Broomgate. That's a real thing. Anyways, the World Curling and IOC has basically decided to put umpires on the hog lines.
Mm-hmm.
And that has led to many shots getting pulled. Basically, curling is a non-refereed sport for the most part. Like, it is very self-officiated.
It's an honor-bound sport, yes.
More or less. What happens is if you burn a rock, which is if you touch it past the hog line, or if the brooms hit it, you just take it out of play. You just like, all right, that's done. With the referee standing there, stuff that has no effect on the game, but is, I guess, if you look at the rules, technically illegal. Like it happened to Bobby Lammy, happened to Rachel Holman yesterday. The umpires are immediately going, take it out of play. Without, so for example, Rachel Holman, in my opinion, the GOAT of curling, Rachel Holman, has had a weirdly rough Olympics, and I think this whole thing has kind of shaken her. She's had a couple rocks pulled out because as she let go and she was putting her hand down to like stand up, she would bump the rock with her finger like infinitesimally, but the umpire's standing right there. And this is why Rachel Holman's pissed off, probably looking for the Canadian teams making the mistake because Mark Kennedy was the one who started this.
Okay.
So
it's wild that World Curling had to release multiple statements.
Yeah, there's been like 3 statements since
during the Olympics,
and then there's been like 3 different rule changes after this.
This is the kind of like thing that you expect in figure skating, where you have lots of drama. This is curling drama.
Yeah. So basically, what has happened now? The order of operations. First, World Curling said. They put out a statement saying, like, yeah, this is great. This is, like, kind of weird. We haven't seen this before, but we're going to not change anything about how we do things. Then they put out a statement saying, you know, in the interest of fairness, we're going to put umpires on each hog line, which, again, unheard of. I've never seen that. And now they've put out a statement after the Holman thing where they're like, okay, we'll take the umpires away. The curlers did not like it very much.
So you can request umpires if you think something's fishy.
Yes. So this is the thing. At tournaments, you can request a rules official if there is a dispute and you need a rules clarification. It is not very common. You I don't want to sound like a salty Canadian, but it is not very common. You call the refs over to be like, that guy's cheating. It is pretty rare, and it is kind of understood in curling circles that the Swedes more or less did this because they were trying to get, because like I said, famously hot-headed Mark Kennedy were trying to get in his head.
To be clear though, the actual meat of the dispute here is Sweden going to Canada and being like, hey, you're touching this rock after you let go of it. Stop doing that. And Mark Kennedy goes, no, I'm not. Fuck you, buddy. And the Swedish guy goes, there's video evidence. And the Canadian guy basically goes, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Listener, there is very clear video evidence.
Not to defend Mark Kennedy a ton. There is a step missing there. That before the Swedes called out Mark Kennedy to his face, they went and got a ref. And you can see in the video, there's a guy in a black sweater standing there. And that's the ref. And he's basically just going, what do you want me to do about it? I don't know. I didn't see it, and I'm all the way up there. And I forget the name of the Swedish curler. It's their third, so it's not Niklas Sedin. He's the skip, but he just goes. He basically says, "Well, he's done it multiple times." And Kennedy, who feels his honor has been called out, bringing the referee down here without talking to him first, says, "Who's been doing it?" And the Swedish curler just points and goes, "You guys," like points to both of them. And then he goes, "I haven't done it once, so fuck off." There's another thing, and you that isn't really thing, and this doesn't make Mark Kennedy look great, because after the game he said in an interview, like, "Listen, I didn't like that they accused me of cheating. If I did this, I didn't think I did this. They could have talked to me about it. I didn't appreciate having my honor called out there." And he said, "I would never accuse them of cheating." Now, I don't know if he forgets he was on a hot mic, because immediately after saying "fuck off," he goes, "Oh, and I didn't complain when you were standing in the house walking around like that," accusing the Swedes of cheating.
Yeah. Okay. So they're all this is a bunch of messy bitches.
This is the mess Olympics.
Yes.
It's messy bitches who have never been encountered mess before, and they don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Team Jacobs was not really involved in Broomgate when it happened, so they're not as prepared to deal with this. And I could be misremembering. I don't want to claim to be an expert, but I think what this is the aura of the mess Olympics has now tainted curling, the last mess-free sport.
Can we really call it mess free, or should we just call it mess resistant?
Mess resistant.
Mm-hmm.
Mess cloaking.
Curling has been Scotch guarded.
Scotch!
Because we can find doping scandals in curling.
Okay, but that one was funny.
I love you, sports.
The curling doping scandal was funny.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
So it's not totally, yeah. Anyways, Commish.
The last time there was big mess in curling was was Broomgate from many years ago, and they almost had Broomgate again last year when teams were bringing out super brooms again.
Yeah.
No, there was Dripgate this year, where they did the little drip.
Right. So there was
That's true. There is yes.
There was the but to be fair, that was less of a mess and more of a everyone was just kind of like, "Hey, stop doing that." And they're like, "We'll stop when they tell us." And then someone told them, they're like, "All right, we'll stop."
Is curling our last honor-bound sport?
Ultimate frisbee.
I would say golf. Because golf, you can have a jackass on TV call and snitch on your ass about like, "Hey, the ball moved and he hit it," and then they'll be like, "You're disqualified." Yes. If curling gets to that level, like let's say Joey wants the call, it's like, "Hey, Mark Kennedy touched the stone." Just like, the Olympics are not going to pick up that call, but in golf, they're going to be like, "Hey, he double hit that."
More sports should have a snitch line.
A snitch line.
If you have facts about a violation, email compliance@olemiss.edu.
Imagine that ACC like officiating look in, but like you could call in and be like,
"Oh,
hey,
that'd be so good."
They missed a hold on that last drive.
And then they just like submit in screenshots.
Well, that's remember Chris Ignetti at JMU when he had the phone out?
Yeah, the phone.
Mm-hmm.
This was nobody really saw this because it was on Mountain West Network. It was Utah State, I believe Utah State versus JMU, and like a staffer had a phone, and Kirk Ignetti like held the phone up to the
and
like,
the ref is like
the ref's like
covering his eyes because he can't see it. He's not allowed to see that.
I'm not allowed to see that.
Oh, this is so good. Just messy bitches everywhere at this Olympics. It's wonderful.
Forza Italia.
I don't think it's messier than any other. Like there's always stuff you just don't remember it because it was.
I remember all the Paris mess. I remember all the Paris mess. We covered it. Don't get me wrong. This is just mess in places where I don't expect it to see it. I guess. Maybe because I'm not as familiar with the sports.
I don't think there's been too much mess in the slidey sports from watching right now. But I mean, I don't think you could really like.
Yeah, it's not like the sliding World Cup from many years ago where a track worker just left a broom on the track.
Yeah,
and the Canadian skeleton head first into it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of different things in the slidey sports, but like nothing like that. There was a couple of false starts today in the luge relay. I love the I'm sorry, it was the skeleton relay. The luge relay was hilarious when they had to jump up and hit that damn button, which was it's just I saw it, I was like, this is phenomenal. And if they would have missed hitting the button, it's DQ.
Yeah.
But the one in skeleton, if you went too early, like you flinched, and you could flinch, you could false start, but if your sled moved, it's a 1 second penalty. So like you could false start and like, hey, you could like you almost jumped off sides, but if your sled doesn't move, you're fine. But like if you're like shoulder flinches, it was just, and it cost a couple of people a medal, but that was a phenomenal one where Great Britain edged out Germany for the mixed skeleton gold there. That was great.
Man, they've taken away one, not surprising, a lot of Russian medals that I'd forgotten about. But
Yeah,
but
I was watching the biathlon this morning. They had before they had the medal ceremony for this year, they had a medal ceremony for 2010 and a medal ceremony for 2014. It was like it was really interesting because it was like oh yeah, like it was like remember some dudes, except actively giving out Olympic medals. And there was one, right, because Ole Einar Bjørndalen is one of the most decorated Winter Olympians. He was awarded another medal at these Olympics. It was for an Olympics more than a decade ago, but he added a medal to his record.
Hey, it's kind of like what it's like, hey, we're going to give you an award. You don't have to do anything. Are you able to show up?
Mhm.
You know, like does he get to wear like, the outfit?
Yeah,
Again,
no,
like
they were there wearing like the not like
the competition
bibs
or?
and not like
Okay, yeah, I was like,
but like he had like
they bring the bib
jackets,
out
like,
from
the team.
2010. They dust it off.
They were actual like medals from that, like the ones from 2010 said like Vancouver 2010 on the
I was going to ask, was it the actual
lanyard,
medals?
and it was yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they made more and we're just like, we got to make them look like the ones from that year. The funny thing too was that across these two events, one from 2010, one from 2014, where they had to redo the medals, all the competitors except for one are retired now.
Okay.
So they were saying like all of us except for one can actually celebrate this, because like the schedule for a lot of these sports, especially the ones that go the whole Olympics, like there are some sports where you have your event and then you're done. But a lot of sports, or if you're just maybe you're doing multiple events, you might win your medal, but then it's like, okay, but you have another event that you have to prepare for. What I forget which one of the athletes said it, but they're like, oh yeah, it's cool that we can celebrate our medals without having to worry about another race, except for him. He has to worry about another race.
Okay.
Because there's like a 40-year-old still, Simone Ader, still going.
Interesting.
With the curling, like the statements, like did they keep the referees and the umpires close? Did they move them away? Did they? Joey is muted.
Well, because the big curling doesn't want me to tell you that they've now moved them back away.
Oh, okay. So they brought the umpires.
Players complained.
They brought the umpires to watch the hog line, and then they took away the umpires to watch the hog line.
Yeah, the Italians were uncomfortable with that amount of hog watching.
Okay.
No one calls it a hog in real life.
Yes, they do.
I've never heard someone describe it as a hog.
What?
Never.
What?
Well, that could be the episode title.
No.
Do you know what hogs? Do you know what hogs need, guys, and what they ran out of?
They need those Tyson chicken nuggets that are shaped like the Arkansas
Razorbacks,
Razorbacks.
No, hogs need condoms. And
Oh my god!
Okay, you were actually going there.
Yeah,
I thought you said nobody called it that.
Yeah,
and
you
then
just called it that.
big
I'd
sweaty
rather talk
hogs
about
need
the Arkansas
condoms.
Razorbacks.
And condoms are what they
Whooping.
ran out of in
Pigs.
Cortina. In, I believe, the Cortina Olympic Village. They started with 10,000 condoms, and they ran out.
So
In
the
3
thing
days.
I saw on the internet about this that I think is very funny is that outside of the fact that they ran out of condoms inherently being funny, they ran out of condoms in part because the condom to athlete ratio was 4-1. They did not, reader, run out of condoms in Paris because the condom to athlete ratio in Paris was 30-1.
Paris, no.
Hey, look, French people know about fucking.
Yeah, it's the city of fucking. Everybody knows this.
I'm a little surprised that Italians evidently don't know ball here.
How blue are we working here? Because listen, there's a chance that the Italians were just like, condoms. I mean, I guess some pussies are coming, but like some absolute cowards. Like maybe some absolute like crybabies are going to be here. So I guess we'll put 3 per athlete. And
So I'm looking.
So if I'm saying this hypothetically, right? Because obviously, like, I would never be an Olympic athlete. That would never, like, I don't have that in me. But if I were, like, I would 100% be trying to, like, just bring these as souvenirs. Like, forget using them. I mean, not saying that, like, I wouldn't, but I'm like, in terms of grabbing souvenir, I just want to get on the record. I'm not anti-condom. Okay, like, safe sex, y'all. But
Arthur, anti-condom.
If I were in the Olympic Village, because these I assume are like branded specifically to say that they're from the, like, this is an Olympic condom.
Yeah, I assume so.
I would be trying to grab as many of those as possible as like souvenirs.
There is a Forbes article about this.
Of course.
Forbes article here. This year's Winter Olympics has around 2,900 athletes from 92 different national committees participating in 116 different events across 16 disciplines. 2026 games do have the highest percentage of female athletes in Winter Games history. So if you do the math, the long and the short of it is that at least 1,500 penises could call for some coverage. Thank you, Forbes.
Beautiful.
I mean, imagine you're getting married. You were previously an Olympic athlete. Like, all the gift bags at your wedding, you could put an Olympic condom in there. If you,
I would take a handful. Arthur, you're absolutely right. I would take a handful of them.
Yeah,
Forbes,
Forbes
did do some additional math here, meaning to come to the conclusion that if they ran out of condoms at the rate that they, projected that they did, this means that each male athlete is using 6 2/3 condoms in 3 days. So that is approximately 2 condoms a day every day.
I don't mean to put us in the full cast cinematic universe again, but this just calls to mind the European sex hut.
Yeah. This is just, as I explained to everyone when they ask, if I were athletic, young, and around a bunch of other young athletic people, I'd be banging.
It is important to note also that February 13th is International Condom Day.
They didn't even make it to that day.
No.
They didn't even make it to that day.
I'm sorry I didn't buy you guys the traditional International Condom Day gift, which I assume is condoms.
It's a condom bouquet.
Is that another Canadian holiday?
Well, Pitt Girl just brought it up. Apparently this is an American holiday I didn't know about.
It's International Condom Day. It's everywhere condom
International
day.
Could be 2 countries. If this holiday exists in Finland and Slovakia, it is international.
Okay.
Mr. Worldwide.
Okay. No, this just, yeah. There's got to be some people that are just like, the ones that take the Splenda packets from the restaurant, the ones that hey, I'm gonna grab a handful of mints. When you leave the restaurant, there gotta be some of those, but but
this hotel has the fancy Earl Grey.
Yeah, like this. Oh, this is the I'm taking the towel out of the hotel. I'm taking the shampoo, which they bolt to the wall now.
The Winter Olympics are slightly unique in that they reuse a lot of venues for very different events.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, the figure skating and short track speed skating. I believe short track speed skating are the same venue, but they can't run both at the same time. No. So they'll have all the figure skating events early in the Olympics, and the speed skating late in the Olympics. They do similar things with certain alpine events, and in the past they've done it with hockey and figure skating. They didn't this year. That just means that a lot of people are going to be, more than the Summer Olympics, are going to be finished the Olympics early, and then you're just at the Olympic Village with time to kill.
Do you just get to stay the whole time?
Yes.
Like, do you not you stay the whole time until the closing ceremonies, right?
That was the whole thing in 2020 in Tokyo. That was the first year you couldn't do that, and people were really upset.
So like if you're like a ski jumper and like the second day of the Olympics, you're done and you have 2 weeks left there.
You're just at winter camp.
You're just at winter camp. And, okay.
I don't think that's uncommon. That happens in the Summer Olympics as well.
Oh yeah.
Because there are people that only, even if there are events in the sport going the whole Olympics, there are people that are only like qualified for a certain number, or they only selected for the team in certain events. And that's the same case. I feel like the Winter Olympics, one of the biggest things I'm noticing is I feel like, and I'm not necessarily opposed to this, but I feel like we're kind of padding the number of medals given out in sports. Like it really feels to me like different sports are trying to come up with extra events for them to have more Olympic events. A really popular one that it seems like every sport is adding is like some sort of mixed gender team competition. That I feel like is a big thing. I saw one today that, and actually yesterday as well, because they had men's and women's. They now have something called dual moguls. If you've ever seen the moguls, right, you're like going down the hill and you're like going like side to side, but then you also have to do a trick. And it's graded, right? There are judges, so they score your trick and like how well you did it, but then also there's a time component, right?
Okay.
Well, so now they have dual moguls where you go down side by side and it's head to head, but it's still just graded, right? So the person who gets to the bottom first, they just are going to get more points in the time category. But then there's this whole other, so like I'm watching it and it like multiple times it'd be like, okay, you see them side to side, it looks like a race, but then the person who got down second did better tricks and like they're the winner. It just seems
to
like
be fair, this is a thing they've been doing at non-Olympic events for a long time. It's not like they just invented it for the Olympics, like mixed doubles. Mixed curling was a thing. It was 4 players. They kind of just invented mixed doubles to be an Olympic sport.
Which is fine. I wish they would do 4-player mixed curling too. Or both. Because like, why?
Mixed doubles being in the Olympics has kind of just killed mixed curling. It used to be a thing in Canada. Now it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, out of many Olympic sports, like curling is one of the ones where it strikes me that it doesn't like matter. Like you don't really need to gender segregate it. I don't think.
The Sickos committee did have a representative at the curling battle of the sexes last year, if you recall, which was competitive. It wasn't a blowout.
Yeah.
Other interesting Olympic news. Lucas Pinheiro Braathen becomes the first South American ever to win a medal in any Winter Olympic event.
And it's gold.
Now,
Happy leaps.
He jumps like Mario. He was so happy.
Boing.
This is pretty wild when you think about it in terms of South America has never won. In fact, I don't think any country from even Latin America has won an Olympic medal either.
Correct.
Was there not a Mexican figure skater that won bronze a few years ago? I could be wrong.
So
maybe I'm thinking of like a world championship or something.
Hold, please.
You might be right. I will say, while we're fact checking this, I love this and I love everything about this, particularly because Lucas Pinheiro Braathen is like, this is not one of those situations like that half pipe skier a few years ago who like figured out a way to get a flag of convenience and get into the Olympics. He is legitimately Brazilian. His mom is Brazilian and his dad is Norwegian, and he grew up in both countries, which is how he learned to ski. And he was on the Norwegian ski team and then retired and then unretired and decided that he was going to ski for Brazil.
Yeah, this isn't Rory Sabatini suddenly finding out he's Slovakian to be in the Olympics.
Right. This is legit, and I love it.
I want to give credit to our friend Roger Sherman, who we had on the podcast. He has a new video up on YouTube called How to Buy Your Way into the Olympics. And it covers a lot of how people get into the Olympics through flags of convenience and things like that. It's really interesting.
Mexico has never won an Olympic medal, or a Winter Olympic medal.
Can I give my other objection then?
You may.
French is a Latinate language. Canada is a Latin American country.
No.
Bad Bunny included us in the list. We count.
Fuck off. You guys barely got a gold medal today, and you want to start talking shit?
Listen. A couple years ago at the Copa America, they did a whole thing where it was the Festival of Latin American Heritage in football, and then they cut to who was playing in the first game, which was Canada, and they cut to Alistair Johnson, the whitest man of all time, standing there watching the Festival of Latin American culture like this.
Why is French Canada not considered Latin America? Ask historians 13 years ago.
Commish, sometimes when we post things, we get responses from athletes, and it always makes us happy. Yeah. I don't think we've ever gotten a response from a gold medalist before.
First time for everything. So the video that we did with Roger Sherman on our Instagram, which kind of took off a little bit, and then it found the eyes of the gold medalist.
This was about the guy who was afraid of heights, ski jumping.
Afraid of heights. So, he did. I saw the quote. It was just like priority, response, verified. I'm like, holy shit, what happened? What did we do? And so I look, and it's just like, well, it's like, so honestly, it never occurred during ski jumping, only during ski flying. So that's why I skipped it. If you don't feel it, don't do it. He did winky face, salute emoji. And then I was just so like, oh my God, we just had a gold medalist.
What do you say to this?
What do you say that? I was like, amazing. Congrats on the goal.
I have a question. What is ski flying?
Ski flying is like ski jumping, but we're going to make the hill even taller than the large hill.
I see.
Yeah. And they wear a different
extra
suit.
Big hill.
They wear a different suit where it's almost like
it's like the squirrel suit.
Not necessarily like flying squirrel, but like it is baggy.
So the penis injections don't matter as much?
The penis injections would not matter in ski flying. But yeah, so he's just like, I'm not feeling it. So it's just I think, let me see here, ski flying versus ski jumping. And like they fly way further.
Mm-hmm.
So ski flying is basically, it's larger hills, and then they fly probably about 50 meters further.
Okay.
So like basically they're as high as like ski flyers take off at about 60 to 68 miles an hour, about 33 feet above the slope. And then, like about 75 to 83 miles an hour before landing, Jesus. Which is different than ski jumping. Ski jumping is basically you fly 390 to 450 feet or 460 feet.
Only.
Ski flying basically it's like, you're flying like double that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ridiculous.
Did you know that they didn't let women do ski jumping until the 1990s?
Yes, yeah. I did know this. I actually had my hand up because I wanted to talk about this.
Go for it.
So, yes, they didn't let women do ski jumping until recently. The regular hill women's Olympic ski jumping just became a thing in the Olympics like the last time around. And the large hill just became a thing this year. And the reason why is because evidently 19th century misogyny is still a thing among the International Ski Federation. And the president of the International Ski Federation was like, I think there are some health and safety concerns for the women.
Mhm.
And there is also a long-running rumor that is obviously not true that allowing women to participate in ski jumping would cause their uteruses to fall out.
Yes!
Which is the same thing that people said about letting women ride in trains that went
Yeah.
faster than 60 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
How are we
please-
still doing this?
Please raise your
Somebody
hand
asked
if you've
us
ever
to.
had your uterus fly out while on a train.
I fucking wish.
I do have an idea for a speed remake. The bus can't go above a certain speed.
Or all the ladies' uteruses fall out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Did you know there's one sport
Everybody move your
that
uteruses
still
to the right side of the bus.
doesn't have
Oh
women?
It's
Wait,
four-way
what?
bobsled.
Nordic combined. There's no female Nordic combined.
Yeah, there's still
Right.
no women's Nordic combined because it involves ski jumping, which obviously will cause your uterus to fall out.
Do
There's
you
Well,
have
it-
any idea what would happen to train ridership in this country if your uterus actually did fall out?
I mean, I feel like most of our trains don't go that fast. We might be good in the U.S., but no.
Every woman is on the Acela.
I'm moving.
So the reason that there isn't a women's Nordic combined still is that it's just so niche that like there are barely men doing it.
Yeah.
Gotta give a shout out to Dan Barefoot,
Hell yeah.
meeting us from Johnstown, PA.
Hey!
Works as a landscape architect.
Yeah. Good for him.
I watched
And-
him. I watched him and another female whose name I'm forgetting compete in the skeleton relay. Or like in which was like the mixed skeleton relay. They finished in the top 15. It was just like I'm like, okay, this guy's named Dan Barefoot.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Beth is posting in the chat about Dan Barefoot, and I'm like, hey, I saved a picture of Dan Barefoot, and so I just posted the picture on Instagram, like Twitter and Blue Sky, and just wrote Dan Barefoot, and it has taken off
Mhm.
everywhere.
As it should have. I would
I
also
even
like to note,
collaborated with Dan Barefoot because do you know what his name is on Instagram? Like his profile?
Barefoot
No.
Dan.
Barefoot on ice.
Nice. Perfect. A gentle listener, I would like you, before I reveal this, and also the folks on the show who are not Beth, because I know she knows this answer, to hazard a guess where a landscape architect from Johnstown went to college.
Penn State,
I
baby.
already-
Ding,
already
ding,
know.
ding.
I already
Penn
know
State,
it.
baby.
Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
landscape
also, he
architecture in Pennsylvania, that means you went to Penn
Yeah,
State.
you went to Penn State.
For the non-Pennsylvania contingent of our listeners, if you want to know what
Oh, he's on LinkedIn.
some context for Johnstown, Pennsylvania, it is the place that the movie Slapshot was based off of, which was a dying industrial town in the 70s.
Also known for a very large flood. There is an alcohol tax in Pennsylvania that still exists that was originally designed to mitigate damage from the Johnstown flood.
Yeah, it's the dog that saved Charleston.
they even have a museum for the flood.
Two of them.
Two of them.
Well, there's the one where the dam was, and then there's the one in Johnstown.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
I was like, let's go to the good Johnstown.
This is
Flood
very
Museum.
much actually, yeah, there is a good. The one at the dam is the Better Flood Museum. It has a movie that won an Academy Award and is horrifying, and they showed it to us the first time on a second grade field trip.
Oh no, second grade.
Jesus Christ.
And so you have things like they're reading off the list. They're like, woman, 30s, burned beyond recognition. Like,
Ugh.
oh yeah, it's a whole thing. The museum is extremely cool and extremely educational, and the Johnstown flood is horrifying. And
Yeah, in this house, we do not like Henry Clay Frick.
no, fuck him forever. And also, and like honestly, truly, for this, fuck Andrew Carnegie too.
Yep.
When I think devastating Pennsylvania flood, I think volleyball player.
Hey.
Hey, oh hey.
Oh, Commish, that was so pitiful. I didn't deserve that.
Yeah, no, Cat Flood hit me in the face with a volleyball.
She's
We need
tall.
to talk about Mr. Red Flag. Sturla Holm Lagried. Did I get that close?
That's
Sturla.
good enough. No one is grading you on this. Yeah, 2 more Olympic medals. I mean, so he's won an Olympic medal in every event that he has entered because he wasn't on the Norwegian mixed relay team that came fourth in the
Except in
mixed
love.
relay.
He did not win in love.
That's not an Olympic event.
Yeah,
It should be.
That you know of.
I mean,
that's-
also
they're
based
gonna need
on
more
condom
condoms.
usage, I
They're
feel
gonna need
like
some
it
more
might be.
love and basketball is in the
We
Summer
can call
Olympics.
it. We can call it Colin the Hogs. It's a new Olympic event. Pitt Girl laughed. Beth glared. Okay.
Congratulations, Arkansas! You have won 50 gold medals in a row.
Oh, that's better what I was going to say. I was going to say noted Olympian Bobby Petrino.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Call in the hog line. 1-900. No.
Oh God.
Yep. So
Isn't that just OnlyFans?
yeah,
Well,
I
nowadays,
don't
yeah.
know. Let's
Only
get back.
hogs.
We got a lot to talk
If
about.
you've curated your feed, that's all it's going to be.
yeah.
It's only hogs. Yeah.
So this biathlete Sturla Holm Lagried, 2 more medals. So he already, when we were talking, the big incident with him after the race, talking about his relationship situation, happened after he won bronze in the individual. He followed that up by winning a bronze in the sprint, and then parlayed that bronze in the sprint to a silver in the pursuit. So I do want to address something here, though. I've seen people saying after his sprint bronze medal, like, oh, he didn't step in it in the interview, or he didn't say anything embarrassing. And I just want to be clear. So I didn't see this covered in any English language source. And I don't speak French, so I'm relying purely on like online, like Google Translate, things and tools of that nature. But he did make some comments in his post-race interview after getting that bronze medal, saying that he was very surprised that he was able to get the bronze medal by making up the time that he made up on another biathlete, Emilien Jacquelin of France.
Mhm.
Now, Jacquelin is like probably the most erratic biathlete on the World Cup right now. Going into a shooting stage, you never know. He could make all 5 shots like very quickly, like beautiful biathlon. He could miss all 5. He's kind of erratic also in terms of his skiing. And in this particular race, this sprint, the men's sprint, he was leading after the final shooting stage. He had like a 20-second lead over Lagried, and he lost the whole lead, ended up finishing 0.2 of a second behind him at the finish because, like I said, very erratic skier, so he just didn't pace himself well. He had great speed up until that final loop, and then he was kind of out of energy and just really but so Lagried was talking in his interview about how surprised he was that he was able to make up that time, and like, wow, he must have really had a bad final loop in a way that was like not the most charitable way to phrase that.
Yeah.
So I saw some French headlines that they were upset about that Jacquelin himself was not happy about that. So I just wanted to put that on the record there, for all the people saying that like he kept it normal after the second bronze medal. Like, no, he still said something. It just was like sports related, so it didn't cross over the way that the first thing did.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair.
It's like, man, I didn't think this guy would blow it.
Yeah,
Like he
that's
did,
basically
just-
that's basically what he said. Yes, and of course
Man.
he would have said it in Norwegian, and then I'm looking at this in like French media.
Sounds
So
like
I'm-
Francesco
there's-
from Cars 2.
There's multiple, trying to figure out translation here, but that I will say after the silver medal in the pursuit, I did not see anything about him saying anything wild in an interview. So maybe he's finally got it all out of the system. And, he will still have 2 more events. I'm sure he'll be selected for the Norwegian relay team in the men's relay, and then he'll be in the mass start. So 2 more opportunities for him to win another
I want
medal.
to say, if you were watching the individual biathlon, like the commentator said, like, if he keeps shooting like this, he will definitely find another girlfriend. And I was like, Jesus Christ, the commentators are taking shots.
I mean, that does not surprise me. I feel like Chad Stamala has always had jokes, like,
yeah.
I feel like if you're tuning into that's one thing so when you're watching this, like, I have Peacock, I'll pull up the actual stream of the event, right? Especially if it's biathlon, like, I'm locked in on that. And sometimes I'll get the NBC commentators, and sometimes I'll get like the world English language feed that OBS does. And I gotta say, the NBC commentators, like, way better, purely because the Chad Samala, who's the color guy on the NBC biathlon broadcasts, like, does know what he's talking about. He is on the broadcasts for Eurovision Sports during the whole season, right? Like, he's actually covering this full season. The OBS English language commentators, the play-by-play person especially, really struggling with a lot of the pronunciations, and it's a little surprising because I feel like a lot of people kind of like to really hold up OBS, and it's like, I can tell that you don't cover this sport outside the Olympics, and I can tell that the NBC guys do.
Arthur, tell me about Julia Simon, because we didn't talk about her credit card fraud conviction, but she won gold, so I guess we need to now?
Yeah.
Well, okay, no. So I just, because I've seen a lot of this, like, I kind of alluded to it, but I didn't bring it up just because, there's a lot of other stuff to talk about, and I wasn't expecting it to be such a huge story because I didn't realize this was also going to break contain. We're like, this was the Julia Simon credit card story is something that biathlon fans have been aware of. That this has been a talking point in the season because she was suspended by the French Federation for it.
Okay.
They structured this suspension around her coming back and, like, getting some prep time before the Olympics, so she was peaking and then obviously performing well in the Olympics. But the thing that made me say, like, okay, I feel like I have to bring this up. So she stole her teammate's credit card and used it. And I saw a headline after she won gold in the individual that it was, like, French biathlete who stole teammate's credit card wins gold medal. Teammate whose credit card was stolen finishes 80th. And I really feel bad now for Justine Bryce-Aboucher, the other biathlete who had her credit card stolen, because she has had a really poor Olympics. She's only going to have done these 2 events. She did the sprint, did not do well in the sprint. She didn't do well in the individual, didn't qualify for the pursuit because of how poorly she did in the sprint. And then I would be surprised if we saw her the rest of the Olympics because of how deep the French biathlon team is. Like, she hasn't looked good, so they're going to have someone that can step up. She is an Olympic gold medalist already from the Beijing Olympics in 2022. But I do just feel bad that the story is kind of become a story that people are talking about, and then also she's having such a poor Olympics, and especially when the person who stole her credit card is having a pretty good Olympics.
Gotcha. Okay.
Commish, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
The debit card fraud you had, can you check if those purchases came from either France or Italy? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it a little bit further. I was like, I think Sturla and Julia need to hook up here.
No, that's so many red flags at once.
I
God, no.
need
Yeah,
it
they're
together.
perfect for each other.
I mean, like, maybe they did hook up and because they've never named the person that he cheated with.
No, she like appeared on Instagram and was like, he knows how I feel about this.
No, not the ex.
She's the other woman.
The other
maybe.
lady. She could be the other lady, I mean, they do biathlon together. They're on the slopes all the time,
Going for long romantic cross country skis that also sometimes involve shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The way that it is structured, you do spend a lot of time with the athletes. Not just obviously, you spend a lot of time with the athletes from your country because it's all organized at the country level. But just being at events, you do definitely have opportunities to get to know all of the biathletes from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
There have been like husband and wife couples.
I mean, so it's not out of the realm of possibility here. So if this comes out, Commish just called his shot.
Let's go to our ad read. As always, if you want to dress like us, Home Field Apparel, they just dropped their ABA, American Basketball Association collection.
Oh my God, it's so
and it
good.
is so fucking good.
Oh Lord, you know what I'm pissed off about?
What?
It's because the New Orleans Jazz was in the fucking ABA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, but Utah still has the fucking name. They wouldn't give it back to the Pelicans, and now we can't have sweet home field New Orleans Jazz merch.
Fair.
I'm mad about that.
That's reasonable.
I just think that it was cool that they went and they made a whole basketball league around the movie Semi-Pro.
Yeah, I was going to say, I looked at the Home Field website and they didn't have any Flint Tropics merch. I was really confused.
It was very confusing. But they did have the Pittsburgh Condors.
Return with a V to
Caw-caw!
Pittsburgh having a basketball team. That's
Oh my
not
God.
it.
The Spirit of St. Louis one. Oh, Jesus. The Virginia Squires. I don't need any more home field, but home field is like physically having me open my wallet and buy all this stuff. If only I could use our code, but I have way too much home field anyway.
You should use our offer code, yes, ha ha ha, yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. If you are going to games and are going to spend more than $200 on tickets, use our offer code at Vivid Seats, Sickos20 for $20 off your first purchase of $200 or more. Sign up for our Beehive, which is where we do our writing.
Behive.
Sign up for
Go
ahead.
got another one coming out on President's Day. Some more national champions, but this time by some interesting selectors, not just the normal standard ones.
Sign up for our Patreon and get access to things like special podcasts. But on President's Day tomorrow, yesterday, as you're listening to this, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the first episode for free of what we're calling the Bundesliga Bachelor.
That's right.
Where Commish picks a Bundesliga team with our help of our friends over 50 plus Durner.
No, that's the East Coast Canadian dish.
We have our merch store at sickoscommittee.org, our YouTube, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitch. I think I'm going to stream this week. We'll see how that goes. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast, Think of the Places We Refuse to Go, and shout out to Feed Your Mascot podcast, where our friends Jeff and Blue look at the culture behind college football. We're going to cover some of the stuff in this list, guys. I don't know if we're going to get to everything, but that's fine. Let's start with our biggest story. We talked about this a little bit before, and when Commish mentioned that he had heard Sacramento State to the MAC, a lot of us were like, that seems weird. And then lo and behold, Sac State is signing up for MACtion.
I like it.
SACtion.
Why?
Why do I like it?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. It's one of those things where it's
that?
like, here's the thing about the MAC. Everyone has this thought of the MAC as this perfect little triangle of football where that's been unchanged for centuries. This is the most MAC thing ever. They used to be the teams that would help you get to the top level. UCF was a MAC school. Marshall was a MAC school. Temple was a MAC school. They are the in-betweeners. And I think that's what Sacramento State sees in themselves. They're like, all right, we'll put in our 3 years at MAC grad school, and then we'll graduate to the Pac-12.
I'm gonna say this like this. I feel like there's gonna be like an extinction level event for all of this weird regionality thing. Like this, like, you know, the ACC having West Coast teams, you know, all that stuff. I feel like something like this is going to change in the future. I'm not saying something's going to happen, and this weird cross country stuff is going to go away, and people are going to revert back to regions.
We will return with a V.
Yes,
that's fine.
I feel like this is going to happen. Now, I may be foolish in this, you know, feeling, but this doesn't really make sense, but college football has really never made sense. But for regional purposes, if it is football only, it's not a bad deal for Sac State or the MAC. If you look at it this way, Sac State is only going to have to travel east 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah.
Unless they make the MAC championship, which I don't think they're moving out of Detroit. And then really only 4 or 5 teams in the MAC are going to have to travel to Sacramento once every 2 or 3 years.
I think the math averages out to 3 years. Yeah.
So every 3 years. So you only have one West Coast trip every 3 years. Now, is this going to be like a longevity thing? I don't know. But I feel like, hey, if it doesn't work out for NIU probably comes back football only, maybe brings everything back. If it doesn't work out for, you know, like Sac State in the MAC, I mean, I think if they were at least maybe 500-ish or showing that they could compete in the MAC, the Mountain West could possibly accept them, I would think. But, you know, again, it doesn't feel like it's that terrible of a temporary agreement. And I go back to the days when Idaho was in the motherfucking Sun Belt coming to Monroe, Louisiana in like 2002 and 2001.
Yeah, that also didn't make sense.
Yeah, New Mexico State was in the Sun Belt. Like, the Sun Belt didn't even have a Texas team. They skipped over Texas, and they had the team in Las Cruces and a team in Idaho.
Texas isn't that big across. You can just skip it. That's fine.
Texas, Sunbelt still doesn't have a Texas team, by the way.
Yeah, well, not anymore, because Texas State is now in the Pac-12, which I feel like there's going to be another round of realignment. There's going to be another round of TV deals or whatever this is.
I think
happen.
Genuinely what it's going to take at this point is nationalization to put everything back where it's supposed to be. Who here is most electable? Commish, are you the most electable?
By a long shot.
To me, what I see here when I look at this move from a Sacramento State perspective is they wanted to be an FBS team. In order to do that, you need a conference, right? Like they
wouldn't let them come up as an independent,
right? I mean, Liberty was able to do it back not even a few years ago. At this point, it's probably like a decade ago, or maybe not that long.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but outside of that, like, it's been pretty clear that in order to make the jump up, you have to have a conference. We've seen teams make the jump, like UMass. They made the jump up. They signed on with the MAC as a football-only member. They got to FBS, and then they went independent. And they are back with the MAC now, but I wonder if that is kind of the line of thinking for Sacramento State is just, we want to be FBS. What conference has the lowest price point where we can write a check to them to make us FBS, right? So they'll have to pay the fee to move up, and they'll have to pay the conference, but that is just the price to be FBS.
No. I agree with you. I think that it was whoever would take us, doesn't matter what right now, it just matters getting there.
That's right.
All that matters is getting there.
I have a question. And this is probably mainly for North Dakota State, but let's throw Sacramento State in there as well. The first round of playoffs aren't technically a bowl game, right?
No.
So you can just make the playoff without doing the transitional waiver period, right?
Nope.
No, I think they're not allowed to do that either, or win the conference title.
Okay.
Well, they may win.
It's a stupid fucking rule, but that's
it's dumb. I mean, I understand why it exists, but North Dakota State.
North Dakota State has already appealed and they're like, "Hey, this is an outdated rule."
Yeah,
So
I'm inclined
we'll
to
see.
agree. It costs so much to move up that you're not realistically, you're not going to just move up and down depending on your chances, which is what the point of that rule is to prevent. So,
I mean,
It's
I
also
was like,
still
"Hey, I got
Division
good
One.
chances. Let's go up." Yeah,
It's not like you're going D2 to D1 and back.
no.
Yeah.
Right. No, that was the consideration, and that just hasn't ever happened, so it doesn't matter. Like that's
Also,
can't imagine
speaking of
somebody
like
trying that.
legislative or not legislative, like legal stuff that has occurred in the last week that I think we actually neglected to leave on the show notes. Congratulations to Trinidad Chambliss for winning his appeal.
yes,
It was there, right?
it's there somewhere.
Is it okay? There are a
Oh,
lot
it's
of things
down at
in
the
show
bottom.
notes.
Yeah, there we go. It's down
Oxford
there.
is still on island time. Good job, guys.
All
you
you
go.
need is one judge to be a Rebels fan.
Let me shop it around to. Do we got an alumni and judgeship? Because they had to like appeal a couple of different times to find
I
a
mean,
judge.
Ole Miss does have the law school, so
Look,
I'm sure they do.
The judge like read the bylaws for like nearly an hour before giving his decision. It was just like
It was a long ass fucking
just
thing.
just fucking say that you're giving him the eligibility, which I mean, I can kind of see this here because it was a weird bout of tonsillitis or whatever,
Yeah.
and he probably shouldn't have played in X amount of games with Ferris State, and there was medical documentation, which is fine, whatever. Welcome back, Trinidad. Which I think you would still, if you would go, you would still probably be high in the NFL draft. Based off your performance.
I think he
in the playoff.
projected out to a third rounder. Yeah.
Oh, if it was a third rounder, no, he's probably coming back. That's why.
The Sacramento State thing basically means that they are about 2,000 miles from their closest opponent and 3,000 miles from their furthest opponent, which is UMass.
I'm kind of worried now since they're joining the MAC now. Are they going to cancel their trip to Maine?
I would assume so.
I'm bummed. Like I wanted Sac State to Maine.
Are we going to be the 40th? Because we haven't posted this, but everyone else has. Can we all get the ball sack joke out of the way?
The what?
What's going to be in the
Wait,
new
can
Sac
you
State
explain it to
rivalry?
me?
No,
I refuse to explain it to you.
it's ball Sac State.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
They both have state in the name. I
Oh
see.
my God! Can you imagine Sac State playing at Dick Stadium against Kent State?
So I think I like the idea of us sort of deliberately ignoring this in the same way that we deliberately ignore the common name for UMass Yukon.
That's right. We're gonna do that too. We're not
we
gonna
work
go
blue, but we don't work. But we don't.
This is low
cheesy.
hanging fruit.
We have standards.
low hanging.
Weird standards, inconsistent standards,
go.
but standards.
I'm fine with making the ball sack joke as long as we are either making jokes about the Music Man or Honore de Balzac. Like,
Well, I
Those are
mean,
both my wetter jokes.
when the game comes, we will be honoring the ball sack with game of the week. I'm sure.
We're not doing that, Joey.
Now, here's
maybe.
a question. Here's a question that I have purely because
What you think
We
the trophy
already
should be? Truck
mentioned-
nuts?
we already mentioned.
That's
I
fine.
already mentioned a movie. When the Elvis stuff came up,
Oh,
is 3,000 miles to conference opponent a thing? Is there anything we can work with there?
That's better. I like that better.
mm.
That works.
This is like when the CFL, because they have their Labor Day Classic, they needed to give BC and Montreal a rivalry because neither of them had one when Ottawa wasn't in the league. So they just said, "Oh yeah, the cross country rivalry, the cross country classic," because Hamilton, Toronto were playing each other, Winnipeg and Saskatchewan were playing each other, Edmonton and Calgary were playing each other. And they were like, BC and Montreal are here too.
Just
I don't know how that's gonna work for Tuesday games for Sacramento State.
oh
Tuesday
god,
and
they have to
Wednesday?
do midweek action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's weird.
Okay.
Tuesday, 3 p.m. local.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god, that feels gross.
We will get the
Light is not
CBS
supposed
music
to
though.
touch.
da 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 da
Da,
da
da, da,
da.
da.
Oh, that's worth it. Another fun thing is we got a rivalry game coming back on the schedule in 2031, which is absolutely a real year we'll all live to.
Yeah, sure.
That's real. That's totally real.
The fog
Boise
is coming.
State is adding a home game versus Idaho, their first meeting since 2010.
Hell
Now-
yeah.
Listeners, this is a rivalry that went away for a reason.
Really? What reason would that be?
Because they don't just dislike each other. They hate each other. Now, the kids these days won't hate each other as much, but there will be a lot of people in their 40s and 50s absolutely throwing down in the parking lot.
Good.
If I recall correctly, this is still, you say the kids aren't going to hate each other. This is still brewing at the top levels. I believe 4 or 5 years ago. No, this is pre-COVID, so 6 or 7 years ago at this point. The NCAA Division I ADs meeting had to be delayed a little bit because Idaho's AD was going to be late because he refused to board a plane that was blue and orange.
What airline has blue and orange planes?
I don't know. I'm just repeating the story.
I want to say this here. This is just on the Wikipedia page. The last time they met, as I think Jordan was about to say, was 2010. So Boise State president at the time, Bob Kustra, expressed his displeasure with the behavior of Idaho fans.
Mhm.
He told the editorial board of the Idaho Statesman in Boise that he and his wife no longer attended the series games in Moscow, because Idaho fans had a, quote, culture that is nasty, inebriated, and civilly doesn't give our fans the respect that any fan should expect when visiting an away team, unquote. Subsequently, a Moscow bar sold t-shirts reading, quote, nasty, inebriated for Idaho fans.
Okay, wait. Maybe it was Sun Country. They're blue and orange.
Could have been.
Sure.
This feels what is a very Hobbesian experience: short, nasty, and brutish.
Yeah.
Nasty and inebriated.
Nasty, brutish, and short. And
Yeah.
inebriated.
Would you consider Southwest to be blue and orange? Because I wouldn't call that orange.
I wouldn't call that orange either.
I think it's red.
It's like red and yellow. They have
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
color scheme thing.
What does red and yellow make? We
Orange.
learned this at the Milan opening ceremony.
That's true. We did.
I want
Make
to
any
say
colors you want.
the place that sold the shirt, it was the Corner Club, and Bridget and I parked at the Corner Club, like when we were in Moscow going to the Kiwi Dome. We were right there, which is incredible. Then we went to go eat some Hawaiian food, which was amazing. So
This is going to be a fun one. I'm excited for that. I do have to say that
Arthur, Horizon Air. I found the story.
Horizon Air.
Okay, wait. Horizon, aren't they a subsidiary of Alaska Airlines?
Yes.
they are now.
Makes sense.
They don't typically. This seems to have been like a rare scheme they had.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Oh,
like their main
okay,
scheme.
like a special, like how ANA has like a Star Wars plane. I get
Some
that.
of the Alaska ones are like blue and orange, kind of.
Not the main. It
No,
would have
but
to be a
there's-
special one.
There's like an alternative one that Alaska Horizon Air. I've pulled it up on Google and it looks like this. And that is
Oh.
blue and orange and mostly white.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nice.
Director of Athletics at Boise State, Jeremiah Dickey,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Congrats on the your role in the return of Boise State Idaho football game, Mr. Rack." Jeremiah Dickey said, "I wish my buddy Rack would have shown up." Let's talk about who Mr. Rack is.
Yeah.
Mr. Rack is a Twitter account at RackofTit69.
This is a very sexually charged episode.
It is.
I am sorry to the listeners who listen to the show with their kids, which you shouldn't do anyway. I say fuck too much for that. But also,
Kids,
Yes.
if you're listening, here's how to commit credit card fraud. You're gonna want to reach into mom's wallet and text or email the Sickos Committee the numbers on the front, and this is crucial, the 3 numbers on the back.
Sickos Committee identity theft.
Then you have to go to Walmart for your flour needs. And that's FLOWER.
Yeah, not the kind that you make
FLOUR.
cookies out of. Yeah.
Wait, the Rack of Tits account doesn't exist anymore.
He says he's deleted. He says in the
Done.
tweet, I'm leaving the platform because I've accomplished all I need to do.
Okay.
It's all right.
Actually,
It doesn't
We
exist.
salute you, Rack of Tits 69.
They followed us. Both of them followed us.
That's why our numbers went down. Damn it. We lost Rack of Tits 69.
A critical member of the Sickos Committee community.
Rack, come back.
Load bearing account.
Baby, come Rack. I got a face palm from Beth on that one.
That was into a hot room. If you had just dropped that without the 2 hours of prep we've had with good reads, you would not have got the response.
No.
ACC scheduling news.
Man, I love the off season.
It's so much, man. This is like jazz, listeners. It feels good.
God, it feels good. It's just
It's about the jokes we don't make.
oh my God.
It's about finding the space in between the riffs, like this one.
Mhm.
ACC scheduling news. We have figured out
together
who are
without Rack of Tits 69. 69. I'm sorry.
69.
I like to imagine you're singing along to whatever song's playing in your headphones.
Is desiccated koala.
I am listening to Suspicious Minds by Elvis. So that's why I said we can't go on together. Rack of Tits 69.
In many ways, this is the Elvis episode. Would anyone
That's
like an Elvis sandwich, which I believe had bacon, peanut butter, and banana?
Mm.
It did.
In college, they sold one called the Fat Elvis that had all that. That had no bacon, but had peanut butter, banana, marshmallow fluff, and chocolate chips.
No, that's coward's way
that's-
out. It's
that's
got to
too
be a mix of savory and sweet, or else you're not living up to the Elvis lifestyle.
I got to put the glasses back on.
I can't wait to get mine. I'm so excited. Have I
Are
said
you gonna wear them in the shower?
Yeah. I'm gonna shave the sideburns if I'm in there.
God.
God damn it, Mattingly.
So here's what the ACC has decided. Because, we talked about maybe they're going to take turns with the 8 league
There are
games.
very few statements you can make that make me feel less like someone is walking across my grave as the ACC has decided.
Now try being an ACC member.
We did try to do that.
To be fair, I am also upset that you did not succeed in that. That we rejected West Virginia, and then we're like, who has good enough academics to be here? Louisville.
Yeah, that was a cool month.
Let's rewind this and say that because you can't have an equal number of league games with 17 teams, that the ACC was always going to have 16 teams playing 9-game schedules and one team playing an 8-game schedule. Now, this next year, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and UNC because they all have out-of-conference games that they'd already scheduled.
Well, I mean, the fucked up thing is you can have 17 teams play even schedules. It's if you play 8!
Well, right. Or you could also have everybody play 9 games and just count the Notre Dame game as the 9th game for the 5 teams that play Notre Dame. But that would make too much sense. And so we're not doing that
add
either.
a school. You already have proven you're willing to do that for no reason. Fucking
Or kick
Temple
someone
will
out.
come.
Temple, come on down. Yeah, Temple to the ACC, I would actually be low-key into. Anyway, continue.
UConn is right there, willing to give you Boston College and Syracuse a travel
Football
partner.
only member UConn. Who says no?
So we thought maybe they're going to rotate out who's going to be this odd team out to get the 8-league schedule. Here's the schedule, listeners.
I believe the term that we're going to use going forward is designated survivor.
Here's how it's going to work. Clemson gets to be that team for 2027 and 2028. In 2029, it's Georgia Tech. 2030, Syracuse. 2031, back to Georgia Tech. And 2032, Florida State.
So I'm flipping the camera off mostly because Clemson gets this twice. This, except for the fact that Syracuse gets to do this one time because we're going to be nice to Syracuse, this is further evidence for my theory that the ACC hates every team from north of the Mason-Dixon.
Y'all aren't football teams. They've made it very clear.
What's fascinating about this is the teams that don't do it at all is basically just Pitt.
So I want to just note that the ones that they gave it to have standing rivalries with out of conference.
Syracuse?
Syracuse doesn't.
Except
UConn.
Syracuse.
UConn.
Except Syracuse.
The Syracuse-UConn rivalry, of course.
I mean, Pitt also has like 80% of a standing rivalry with West Virginia, but like
But
it's fine.
just not. Yeah.
It's fine.
So
that's
it's
not
like
a
they gave
standing rivalry. That's a hobbling rivalry.
So Clemson, South Carolina, Florida State, and Georgia Tech, Georgia. So those are the ones where they seem to protect. Syracuse is definitely got to protect their rivalry with
Checking notes.
who are Syracuse
Checking notes.
rivals. I know they list Pitt on the
No,
Wikipedia.
No,
that list
We're
is so
not rivals.
janky.
We just play a lot.
Do you
Look,
not rivals? Just play.
I would not have traveled to New York City to see Pitt Syracuse in Yankee Stadium if it wasn't a rivalry.
Mhm.
Okay, non-conference Syracuse rivals.
Colgate. Yep, it's the Colgate rivalry.
Yeah,
Colgate.
yeah.
Oh,
Penn-
they do have UConn
Penn State, UConn, Rutgers,
and West Virginia.
Yes.
We're gonna save the neighbors' backyard brawl, Syracuse, West Virginia.
Do you know what scheduling thing we don't have in our show notes? If you like pina coladas and playing football in the Pac-12.
Sorry.
The Pac-12 dropped their schedule this week, listeners, and here's what they did. They have 4 weeks of non-conference football to start the season off. Then they have 7 weeks of conference games. So everyone, round robin, we love round robin schedules.
We do.
But then, listeners, they got the flex week. Ooh. Flex.
Muscle confusion.
CrossFit
And-
week.
So it's going to be a non-conference conference game that is decided the week of the game.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
honestly, this is legitimately awesome. I'm into it. We all remember the only thing I think any of us meaningfully remember from the 2020 football season was we're scheduling this week Coastal Carolina game.
Back
where
back when we learned that you don't actually need notice for any of this shit.
Right. And you don't actually
BYU
have
just
to
slapped
schedule
their
stuff.
equipment trucks going east and said, like, we'll tell you where you're going.
We're going to figure out where you're going. Just drive east. And they played it, and that game was the best game of the season. Yes, more of that. That was the only good thing about 2020. Do it again. More of that.
I want to see college football take a page out of wrestling gimmicks. Like I want to see a conference award a Money in the Bank briefcase to a team. I
Cash
want
it
to
in, right.
see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see like you don't know who you're playing until they show up at the stadium.
Right.
That's right. I want to see a little less conversation and a lot more action.
I was thinking like a Royal Rumble return style where it's like, okay, Boise State's on the field, they're on the blue turf, they're looking up at the jumbotron to see who they're going to play against, and oh my god, they're back! It's Pacific.
The thing with college football is that like every team does have their own fight song. I mean, when I say their own, like I know there are teams where it's like, oh, they'll have the same fight song as this other school. But like I feel like within conference, just imagine, right? You've got the home team in the stadium, they're ready to go. They're like, who's it gonna be? The music hits, it's like, oh, that's Boise State's music. You gotta play Boise State. Like I feel like it would work. It would be tough on so there would be two logistical issues. One, the logistics of traveling an entire football team without it leaking where exactly they were going. And it would be tough for fans of the away team. But I mean, I feel like it could work. I feel like the Pac-12 could make it work.
This is wild because, well, other schools and other conferences are like, no, that last week is rivalry week. It's sacred, right? That's where we put our biggest rivalries. The Pac-12 is like, nah, fuck it. We're putting things together the last fucking minute possible.
What rivalries? We were invented 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, we don't put the rivalries on rivalry week anymore in a lot of cases.
Yep.
See, also, every brawl and every Pitt Penn State game I have ever seen has occurred in September. Actually, I think one of the brawls I saw was technically August 31st.
What I don't like about this Flex Week, though, is that they have said, like, the restrictions on it, you basically can't really flex any of these games because you're like, oh, well, each team is, like, not going to face the same team twice in 2 weeks or whatever. They're not going to get 4 road games in a row. I think they should just put the home teams up. Not say what the road teams are yet. Just put the home teams up, and then, like I said, the music, like Arthur said, the music hits, but you look up and, wait a second, that's Gonzaga's music. What the hell? They're in the league.
They're back from 1939.
It is an interesting experiment. I like it. I like
The
creativity
hottest
in the
free
schedule.
agent in sports entertainment, Sacramento State.
I
Now-
like it for the fact that they could do this if like somebody's on the edge of a playoff berth.
That's
They
the whole
could-
point,
They
right?
could give them they can give them a shot to make their schedule look better.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's the whole point of doing this.
That is. That's the whole point of doing it. So I like that they have that, and you know, it works.
What would be
I hope-
amazing is like if this works the way that they plan,
Mhm.
and they manage to like snipe a playoff bid at the very last second. Can you imagine how angry the conference of whoever loses their shot at a playoff bid will be?
They're gonna overreact so hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the overreaction is going to be wild if this works.
Well, I hope they do it the other way, where it's like, okay, Washington State, they're 11-0 right now, but you know they haven't looked the most confidence-inducing. But they're 11-0, and because they're 11-0, they're sitting number 17 right now. I don't know if I want to send 9-3 Boise State there. Oh, and 1-11 Colorado State. Yeah, go to Wazoo.
I mean, they're still gonna make the championship game. Yeah, probably at that point.
Yeah,
They still have the
exactly.
championship game as a chance.
So they have said the championship game will not change based off the results of the Flex
true.
Week because it's a non-conference game. So like you're like, let's give Wazoo a tune-up game.
So are you saying that they won't be cruel?
I don't know any Elvis songs.
Yeah, I'm only like every time you say that and Pitt Girl laughs, I'm like, okay, that must be an Elvis song.
I'm so fucking old. How am I the one that's so fucking old here? I'm like a year older than you, Arthur.
Here's the
Okay,
thing:
but-
if it
but
was
I
Buddy Holly, I would have a chance.
Don't be
because
cruel. Come
when
on.
I was a kid, one of my best friends was a professional Buddy Holly impersonator, so I did have to get indoctrinated into Buddy Holly-ness.
He sounds just like Buddy Holly.
He didn't appreciate
So-
when I said that to him.
Pitt Girl, I know from experience
I don't care
that
about
you
that.
are way better than me at music trivia. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Other highlights. Apple Cup is week 1.
Good gracious.
I don't like
And-
that.
Ugh.
And there is no platypus trophy game this year.
I don't like that either.
Yikes.
Right. So that is going to be some issues. The
Man,
Grizz,
talk about return to sender.
the Montana Grizz, however, are
Is that
traveling
an
to
Elvis song?
Corvallis, which ought to be a fun one. And
Corvallis?
Corvallis.
Corvallis.
Curveless.
And
That's how it
Corvallis,
would be
Pennsylvania.
pronounced if it was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Corvallis,
Sax-
love me tender.
Sac State is still on Fresno State's schedule as
No,
of this.
that's a Jackie Moon song.
Do we know what the plan? I mean, Sac State has planned a schedule for next year. They had like 6 games on the schedule. Are those games just going to go?
They had
mean, they
8
can
on
keep
the
3 of
schedule.
them.
Eight?
They had
Okay.
8 on the schedule.
They can keep 3 or 4 of them. I mean, the MAC might just let them like play a partial schedule. They can do that. It's not like they're going to be eligible for the conference championship.
They're not going to be eligible for a bowl
Sac
game
State,
either.
You are temporarily Mac Notre Dame.
Congratulations, Sac State.
God. This
I am going to have some fun this offseason coming up with Mac State rivalry trophies.
Yeah.
Like what do Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Sacramento have in common? I'm going to find that out this offseason.
They both end in O.
The O trophy.
I mean, Massachusetts and California, 2 states where Shaquille O'Neal played NBA basketball.
The Shaq trophy.
You could throw Ohio in there too.
Yeah,
Already,
he
we've
was
knocked
a
off
Cavalier.
a bunch of teams. Never played for the Pistons or the Pacers though. So
you could do a LeBron trophy for any of the Ohio schools in Sacramento
Do
State.
you know Shaq actually works for Sac State right now?
Yeah.
yes,
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Shaq
Yeah.
State.
I do like
Shaq
the idea of Shaq having to be like,
Shaq
yes,
State.
this is the Shaq Celtics Memorial Washed Unk Trophy. I came up with it.
What this is the equivalent of to me is those conferences in basketball that have the gauntlet tournaments. Hi, Kat.
Yeah,
You had a
Bruce
special cat.
Bruce tried to knock the mic over, so I was moving him. He said my riffs weren't good enough, and to be honest, I already knew that because no one laughed at my Celtics Shaq joke.
This feels like the same thing as as the teams that have the tournaments that are all wonky, because you're trying to protect your one team that has the best shot. And this feels like the best way to do it. You want that one team to have the best wins, and so you stack them up as best you can. The non-conference conference thing, listeners, the reason I sang Pina Colada song whenever we started talking about this is because Arthur has named all non-conference conference games as Pina Colada games.
Yeah.
'Cause that's when you find
Brilliant.
It's Pina Colada week.
it's Pina Colada week. So I'm excited the whole conference listen to us.
I didn't know you like pina coladas too.
I can't help falling in love with pina coladas.
That's
now,
also
Escape,
is that an Elvis
Escape is
song?
not an Elvis song.
That's correct.
But
It is
but can't help falling in love is.
That is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
we will
I thought
never
that was
know
a
if
UB40
Elvis liked
song.
Pina Colada.
No, the UB40 covered the Elvis. Yes.
Elvis covered UB40?
Yes, sure. Elvis was singing red wine. Yes.
My dad's second wedding, his first dance was to Red Wine. We later had my dad's third wedding.
Was it set to I can't help falling in love with you by UB40?
That one we had a party bus.
That is a banger though. The UB40 version is better.
Oh my
It is
God.
big.
I just
I like it.
realized something else. Border Wars week 1, too.
Yeah?
Colorado State, Wyoming.
Man.
Oh shit. That's early.
Week 1 is the new Thanksgiving. Great excuse. This message was brought to you by the American Turkey Council.
We've NASCAR-ified college football.
God damn it.
The big deal thing is
Man.
week 1 now.
Oh yeah,
Man.
Daytona 500 was today.
Yeah.
Arthur, that's your cue. All right.
Oh, what? I'm not prepared to talk about it right now. You're
It's
gonna have
fine.
to see some. Maybe I'll record an addendum. I don't know.
This is where you put in the Daytona 500 takes, and I'll just add that the finish was funny because they've now just have the unwritten rule that you never throw out yellows at super speedways on the last lap.
Yeah, I saw the clip and was like, oh, damn.
That was
Look,
a lot of rats.
I've been up since 5:15 because I woke up to watch the women's pursuit in biathlon, and I've just been up since then. I started drinking once I got back with my Arby's to watch the Daytona 500. I started drinking. I had a couple drinks, and I've just kind of kept it at a good level. So I'll probably, tomorrow I'll probably be better talking about this.
That's totally fine. That's
Cheers.
100% fair.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The
Listener,
beast.
let it be stated for the record that Arthur is drinking Monster the Beast Hard Monster Pink Poison.
Taste that pink venom straight to your dome.
Which sadly, I mean, I understand why, because Four Loko is illegal. Unfortunately, the alcoholic monsters are also not caffeinated.
It's fine. I had an espresso martini buzzball earlier.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Is
God.
it fine, Arthur?
Your body is a temple, Arthur.
Wow.
For just pure caffeine, I had a mellow yellow. That felt like the way to ring in the NASCAR season.
Yeah,
Man.
that's correct.
Your piss is going to be the weirdest color.
Sheesh.
No, because I know when my piss was the weirdest color. It was when I went and was covering an event at Coastal Carolina University, and like all the desserts, the whole spread was dyed teal. And let me tell you, like when
Jamie
they
Chadwell
talk
did
about
actually
pissing
piss teal.
no, like that happened. It's real. It's real. Like people don't believe me. I'm telling you, I've lived it.
Sam
Just
Darnold
cut the
out.
podcast there.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We have other stuff on here,
I mean-
but I
It's
think
fine.
don't-
Arthur's a bad teammate.
I don't know, man.
You
Is that
are
how he
going
got-
to Area
No,
51
but it's-
because
Is that how he got
blue
blue
not on
suede
the
shoes?
chart. It's not on the
Oh my
chart.
God.
God damn it.
blue piss shoes.
Don't step on them.
I hate all of you.
Or in them.
No, you don't.
Or in them. I was trying to figure out a way to work in the ghetto, and I still haven't been able to do that.
No.
You can't.
Oh,
I couldn't. I'm still working on it.
Far away,
no, we're
we
done.
won't
Good night,
go
guys. I love all of you. I'm sorry. I don't know what this was.
on the cold and gray Chicago
Off
morning,
season,
another
off
little
season.
baby, about and born in the ghetto.
Okay, real quick. Here's my take on the Daytona 500, which of course was won by Tyler Reddick for 2311 Racing, the team co-owned by Michael Jordan. Kind of making me maybe rethink my whole MJ versus LeBron take, because I've always been a LeBron guy just based on being alive and remembering watching him play basketball in his prime. Like I never got to see MJ on the basketball court. I got to see LeBron, so I'd always been a LeBron fan. But, Michael Jordan getting that Daytona 500 win as a team owner, kind of making me reconsider things a little bit here, I think. And you couple that with the team LeBron was on lost the NBA All-Star game. So, you look on the one hand, you've got Michael Jordan winning. On the other hand, right, the same day, you've got LeBron James losing at something. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. Hey, speaking of the NBA All-Star game, I got a couple thoughts there. One, that commercial that they had run with the everybody wants to rule the world thing, it was not good, but it did remind me a little bit of the vibe behind when they had Pitbull rap about the NBA playoffs. And that's what I want to see from the NBA. So even though the execution wasn't good, I like the line of thinking there. And hopefully they got some bangers coming out when we actually do get to the playoffs. Also, hey, NBA All-Star Weekend, I got to shout out my guy Damian Lillard winning the three-point contest, his third three-point contest win. And he's in the middle of coming back from a torn Achilles. He's missing the entire season. He's not playing any games this season, but he did show up at All-Star Weekend to do the three-point contest. So, really cool because, he's my favorite player. Not being able to see him at all this season, it's a bummer. So getting able to see him do this one thing and, come away with another win, that's pretty good. I do want to just say, though, I don't think it's fair to compare what he did to Lindsey Vonn trying to ski on a torn ACL, right? Because in Damian Lillard's situation, this injury happened last season during the playoffs, right? So he had surgery, right? His ACL, or not his ACL, his Achilles was reconstructed, and he was able to he's doing rehab, right? So it's not like he doesn't have an Achilles, it's just he's rehabbing it, he's training, that sort of thing, right? Whereas Lindsey Vonn, she was trying to ski like weeks after it had happened. She hadn't had the surgery yet, so she still didn't have an ACL there, right? So that, I don't think they're comparable. I didn't see a lot of people making the comparison, but I made the comparison in my head, and then I was like, oh, no, that's not right. So that's just my line of thinking there. Last thing about the NBA All-Star Game before I get out of here. I saw some people saying, like, oh, the format made things more interesting. Like, you thought the format was good. Listen, the format didn't make things interesting. Victor Wembanyama made things interesting. Okay, he deserves 100% of the credit for the All-Star Game actually being kind of good this time. It was all him. He came in, he set the tone. As soon as his team was eliminated, the players went back to not trying again. Victor Wembanyama, he should have been the All-Star Game MVP because he made the whole thing work.